The 365 Pro Wrestling.
It is episode number 35, and I want to thank everybody out there listening just for listening. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the likes, the shares, the comments. Keep them coming. We want to hear from you. And you know what? It's time for an interview. 365 Nation, EO here, and today I have a very special guest. I have the ring announcer for 365 Pro Wrestling, Manda Cat. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing good, thanks. How are you?
I'm amazing. This is the second time we're doing this because I did not record the first time. So thank you very much for coming back and doing this again.
You're welcome. No problem.
So I want to start off with, how did you get into becoming a ring announcer?
Well, I have a good friend, Christy Carvello, and he works for SKM Promotion, and he's the one that gave me my first shot. And Chris, for people who might not know that name, is Chant Monkey Chris. He's been around Ontario indie wrestling for 20 years now, maybe 20 plus years. He's known every promotion. He knows who wrestled for who they were wrestling, the new guys, the trainers. So Chris has been a fabric of Ontario indie wrestling for a very long time. So that's pretty awesome that he'd have you come out. And it's really nice that he gets to do stuff with SKM where he gets to put his kind of spin on things after watching for so many years. Yes. He is quite the magic man when it comes to wrestling. Definitely. Do you know what's happening? Do you know what's going on? Do you know the news? I do, because I subscribe to the 365 Pro Wrestling YouTube channel, and I watch the Weekly Whisper every single Tuesday when it's released. So I know that February 22nd, 365 Pro Wrestling returns to the Willow Point Lions Club in Campbell River, and February 29th, we're not taking the day off like I said we would. No, we're having a pro wrestling show at the Alpine Club in Kitchener. So make sure, subscribe to our YouTube channel, 365 Pro Wrestling, and you will find out all the news through the Weekly Whisper. What got you into pro wrestling? Well, I kind of have been an athlete my whole life. I came from a sports fanatic family, so sports is just second nature to me. But wrestling per se, my fiance has gotten me into that. About a couple years ago, he made me watch my first match. It was a Kurt Angle, Rey Mysterio match. And after that, I fell completely in love with it.
What a match to see for your first ever match. Those guys are still so talented.
Very much.
And it was right away, you're like, this is awesome. I want to see more.
Yes, definitely. I became obsessed with wrestling. I started binge watching every promotion out there you could name. I started with WWE, then went to TNA, ROH, NJPW, and then I went on to the Indies. Wow.
And now that you're ring announcing, is your fiance still as supportive and happy he brought you into the wrestling world?
Oh, yes, he is. He's very supportive of me, and he's happy watching me do it. He's a little jealous because he would like to be in the ring and be a part of the show, but it's okay. He's still happy for me to do it. He's proud of me for doing it, and he supports me.
And that's huge to have that support system from your partner is huge in wrestling, because we're gone for almost all day, sometimes half the evening, and everyone's like, you're just doing a 5-minute, 10-minute match, or you're just doing a 3-hour show announcing. Why do you got to be there for like 10 hours? And it's the drive, there's so much into it that people don't see. So it's just great that he supports you like that.
Very much so. He's a huge fan of mine.
Now, saying that you're an athlete and from an athletic family, do you ever think about becoming a wrestler, or maybe a manager, or do you like your role now as a ring announcer?
I do like being a ring announcer. I wouldn't mind being a manager if the opportunity came about, or I was offered from somebody that, thought I could be a good cheerleader for them, so to say. But getting in the ring, I don't think so, just because I give them props for what they do in the ring, and I don't think I'd ever be able to do what they do. And plus, being so new in the business, I got to earn my respect.
For sure. There's so much that goes into training for wrestling. And some people really like it and they'll hop in and they'll start doing it. Some people are like, that's really nice, but I can help out in this way. And there's so many ways that people help out that aren't just being the wrestlers, like yourself as a ring announcer. There's interviewers. There's people just making sure the lights turn on at the right time and the music gets played. And that's such a big part of indie wrestling. Have you noticed that? Have you seen the family atmosphere?
Oh, yes, definitely. I have. It's amazing as to how many people come together to put together such an amazing show. Anywhere from the talent to the music, sound, announcing, interviewing, just putting the ring together and taking the ring down, everything. It's all just such a big family, and we all help each other out, and it makes the show so much more enjoyable.
So now that you're on this side of the ring, when you go back and you're watching wrestling and the pay-per-views and everything, do you look at it differently, or are you still a huge fan and just love wrestling?
I am a huge fan. Yes, I will always be a huge fan of wrestling. But being an announcer, yes, you do see a whole other different aspect of wrestling that being just a fan you wouldn't see. But I do enjoy both, being a fan and being a part of the show.
Do you have any favorite wrestlers right now? Like, who do you like to watch?
Ooh, that's a good question. Being my organizational self, I categorize my wrestlers as to how I like them. But I would say one of my favorites would be either Triple H or Chris Jericho. But there are some indie wrestlers that I do like as well, too.
Nice. So we were trying to keep these nice and short, so I'm going to wrap you up. But before that, do you have any goals for 2020?
I pretty much just take it one day at a time, but I practice every day just to make myself better for whatever comes my way next.
Awesome. And now, do you have any social media page that fans can interact with you?
Yes, of course. If you guys want to check me out, I'm on Facebook. It's Manda Cat. And just shoot me a message, or you can look at anything that I'm sharing from 365 on there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We have to have you on again. And thank you for doing this twice in a row.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.